Welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. This is the first live stream in the weekend since a couple months now. And yeah, it's awesome. It's obviously because now I'm able to stream more often. I'm able to create way more content because I got my own workplace going on here. We got our own office, which is pretty amazing. So welcome back to Lucid Trading. Make sure you hit that like button. If you just joined, smash that like button. That'd be very much appreciated. And we don't have a lot of time. We have about 30 minutes, roughly speaking, because this office is going to close down in 30 minutes. But it's going to be a sweet time. You know, it's going to be short but sweet. But yeah, let me just welcome back everybody here. Welcome back to Phil Tomlinson, Damson, to Alban, Amadeus, John Smith, Tanisha, Clean SD, You Got Soul, Yopadi, and Larry Summers. Welcome back, everybody. All right, so once again, hope everybody's having a great weekend. We have uploaded a video on Palantir. If you have not checked that out yet, make sure you check it out. It is awesome. I think Palantir is going to perform quite nicely in the coming week and in the coming weeks. And yeah, it's been a bit of a busy weekend, and it's going to be getting busier because I'm working on some things right now. We're going to have a Twitch channel, which I'm going to be using as a platform where I'll be streaming what I'm streaming right now. So it's going to be like a multiple streams kind of thing. And we're also going to have the TikTok going. Instagram is going to be more active. I'm working on getting the Twitter active again. Just basically more of everything and better quality, higher quality. Been working on the Patreon as well. Updated the Patreon. So it's going to look pretty good very soon. We're going to have a newsletter for the Patreon. The buy and sell signals, obviously. Individual stock picks, behind the scenes, everything. It's going to be on Patreon, right? So it's going to be cool. So check that out. I didn't know Gara was one of the Beatles. Yeah, I will get a bit of a hairdo very soon, so don't get used to that. Tomorrow, markets are closed. No, I don't think they're closed. I think tomorrow the markets are going to be open. Because I think it is Columbus Day, right? I think stocks are going to just, the stock market is going to be open. I don't think there's going to be any kind of difference there. All right, let's have a look at the markets. Let's see. Right, so I'm looking at the Nasdaq right now. Nasdaq has been downtrending pretty darn insanely, and there's definitely a downtrend going on here. Yeah, looks pretty bad. Seems like we've found support around 14,400. And that is the level that has been kind of maintaining itself. But yeah, then again, MACD's about to cross again. So I think we could have a bit of a rough start at the beginning of this week. But I think the daily chart is still kind of conveying a different story, which is that we're most likely going to rally upwards. We have the CPI coming up this Wednesday, so that's going to be something to look forward to. Bitcoin is pumping. Yeah, Bitcoin has had a couple bullish catalysts. No wonder Bitcoin is going up after all the bullish catalysts that we had. And so that's why it's jumping. I still am not very bullish on Bitcoin because I believe that the inflation is going to be inflecting downwards. I saw Meet Kevin is kind of starting to kind of track back. Or he's backtracking, right? He's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's going to go up. I think it's still going to go down. I think inflation is going to slowly inflect downwards, although we might see more of the rental inflation, and energy could also go up slightly more. But I think the other components are going to go down, which basically net means that we're going to have lower CPI, although it's going to be slightly lower CPI. That would be my estimate on that. But we'll see what happens, right? Commodities have been going down for a while, although recently we've seen a bit of a jump there. It's going to be an interesting time. All right, so yeah, Nasdaq. I think worst case scenario, I would say we would see another downturn, get back to 14,400, and then rally back up. If that is not the case, then maybe go down slightly and a rally back up. I really don't see this getting worse because the money printer is still going. Interest rates are still pretty darn low. What can I say? I mean, we've already seen the spike in the 10-year yield. Like, how much higher is it going to go right now? Is it going to jump another 10%? I think that is just unlikely at this point. Although the weekly is still looking relatively bullish on the 10-year. We've seen this weekly MACD cross since, I think, the beginning of September, and I've been warning about this. Like, hey, I think it might go down, but this is looking, pretty bad. So yeah, it's been jumping ever since. And yeah, frankly, I think we're probably at the end of this little rally. However, if we do break through 1.66, 1.65, then I think this is going to get a lot more painful. But yeah, if the 10-year stays stable, so if we see any kind of signs that the 10-year is either going down or it's stable, then that could mean that the markets, I think that would be the signal for the markets to rebound very viciously, mainly because, tech is very much impacted by what the 10-year is doing. So if the 10-year is going down, then that is a positive influence on tech. If the 10-year is going up, then guess what happens? The Nasdaq goes down, right? So you see what happened? Since the beginning of September, let's just grab it. There we go. Beginning of September, the 10-year goes up 27%. Look what happened to the Nasdaq since the beginning of September, going down. And it's been going down faster and faster, right? So it's been down more than the S&P. It's down more than the Dow Jones, which makes sense. But yeah, the S&P also went down. Dow Jones also went down because most stocks are affected in a negative way by that. Banks do benefit from that, though. Banks benefit from the 10-year going up. Although if the 10-year spikes too much, it's not a very positive thing. Not really. So. Yeah, so my guess is we're most likely, for the most part, out of the woods. I think CPI could get interesting, but I highly doubt that we're going to see higher CPI at this point. It's been going down for the past couple months, and I think it could go down more or just stay flat, which would still be a good thing. So yeah, short-term 4-hour chart indicating, maybe the beginning of this week might be rough for tech, but I think from Tuesday/Wednesday onwards, momentum could be looking interesting, positively speaking, because look at this on the weekly chart. We're hitting very significant support on the RSI, and look at that. Oh my God, we breached the 20-day moving average just to get back up to the 20-day moving average. So, and this tends to act as support for the Nasdaq, which is around 14,700. So if we do go down, that 14,700 is going to be acting as support. Yeah, so I just don't see it going down much more. I think all the negativity is already priced in, unless we get like some new negative catalysts. I think what's going to happen is we just straight up rally back upwards. And we're heading back up to like 15,400 and whatnot, into the months of November and whatnot. Yeah, November, December tends to be the more better months for stocks. That's if we don't get like something bad happening. We already know that the debt ceiling that hasn't been raised, but the whole discussion is now delayed until December. So the debt ceiling has been extended. So that kind of does mean that we are safe for now. But yeah. A lot of people are spreading fear, like, oh, the markets are going to crash. I don't think the markets are going to crash. They're still looking okay. We're going to get great earnings coming up. Remember, earnings is coming up, right? Earnings is coming up. November, December, holidays. That is a very bullish time period for the markets, especially when the money printer is going and we have low interest rates. Although supply issues have been kind of biting us in the ass, I think we'll be fine. So yeah, I'm still very bullish on the Nasdaq. relatively bullish on the S&P. I'm still bearish on the Dow Jones. I think the Dow Jones has seen its glory days. I am very bullish on the Russell. If we do see the inflection point, if we do see that inflection point in the CPI, I think the Russell's going to rally substantially. The same rally that we've seen here, but it would actually cause us, I think at that point, we could see the Russell hit a new all-time high. But yeah, we're waiting for that. You know, CPI is coming out in about a couple days. It's on the Wednesday. I think it's the 13th, right? I will be covering that, so do make sure you tune in. It's going to be wild. And let's see what's happening here. Let me just double check what's happening with crypto. So Bitcoin has been rallying. Yeah, so I pointed out that if Bitcoin would cross this, there was a certain point. I think it was this right here, right? Yeah, I showcased it. So it was sitting right here. If it would cross that point, then it's most likely going to keep on rallying until we get closer to the all-time high. Now, you might remember that I've been bearish on Bitcoin, very openly bearish on Bitcoin. And I said that it was going to fall to 30K, probably have a dead cat bounce to 50K, which already happened, and then go down further, right? As in slowly go down to 40K and then go down to 30K. Now, it did go down to 40K again, although what we had recently is we had several bullish catalysts. I think it was that hedge funds and institutions could now properly place their crypto. I think it was Ripple or just crypto in general at the central bank. And that was a very bullish signal. We had the El Salvador situation. The Bitcoin ETF is coming up. So the doom scenario is, I think it's redundant at this point. I don't think we're going to see it go down to the 30Ks in the near term. But I still believe that we do not have very strong... what the hell's happening? Are you seeing this? What the hell happened there? What the freaking hell? It dropped 5%. And then... Did you see that? Or was my laptop lagging? I have no idea. That was really weird. Wait, let me just check it out. Yeah, there we go. What the hell was that? Damn. Hey, Gara, congrats on the new office. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Was that real? That was real. Yeah, that was real. That was real. Oh my god, that was a massive margin call. What the freaking hell? What the hell was that? What the hell? I think that was a massive margin call. Or a group of margin calls. This is the exact thing that you would see when a bunch of people are forced out of their positions. I see this in the stock market all the time. I think that's what happened here. Damn. How much of a... What the hell was that? That was an 8% downturn. It took seconds and it wiped out. Look at that volume. Oh my god. 212 Bitcoin in volume. Yeah, it basically annihilated anybody that was leveraged up. See, this is why you do not leverage up on Bitcoin. This is one of the big reasons. A friend of mine is messaging me right now about this. It's crazy. That was crazy. Okay, that was interesting. Well, we caught that on I guess we caught it on live stream. I think we should make a clip out of that. I think I could clip it out. Yeah, I'm going to clip that out. I'll put that on the what is it? YouTube Shorts. I think I haven't used that yet, so I might as well, so We'll be doing that. Gara, was his friend watching the chart? No, it's just a good friend of mine. He's all into crypto, so wanted to let him know. Oh man, I can't wait until the Hong Kong markets open up here. It is gonna get groovy. That was one hell of a dip. Yeah, I also got an alert that Bitcoin went down. Was really interesting. Very fast dip. I mean, let's just compare the volume, right? That was a lot of volume. Damn. Whew. Yeah, you can see it on the 4 hours. It hit the support level of around 51k to about 50k, and then it bounced immediately because people have buy orders, right? So if it hits 51k, a bunch of other people are starting to buy, and they buy instantly. And so I think a bunch of people got margin called, and then people that had their buy orders, they started buying like crazy. Something like that. All right, so enough about crypto. I'm still bearish on crypto because I think the main event that has been a catalyst for the cryptocurrencies is the Bitcoin halving event. Now, the Bitcoin halving event, it's coming up in 2024, so I'm very bullish for that. But I think from now until then, Bitcoin it's just not going to be that attractive. I think with inflation probably inflecting downwards, inflation is the reason why people are buying Bitcoins, because they want to store value. Now, if inflation starts inflecting down, then that whole thesis just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think what's happening here is a bunch of FOMO because people could not buy Bitcoin to enjoy this rally, and so they're buying it right now on the recent bullish news that we had, about the central banks accepting crypto and El Salvador opening up wallets and other bullish things, So I don't think it's going to be a very large rally. I still doubt that that's going to be the case. But I'm very bullish on Bitcoin long term. I'm bullish for Bitcoin on a time scale of the next 2 to 5 years. But yeah, that's enough about that. Let's see how the individual stocks are doing. So I released a buy and sell signal list on the Patreon. And like I said, I just recently updated the Patreon. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. There's a Patreon link in the description. I have not been advertising the Patreon as often as I should have, mainly because I was very inactive, because I was not in the most, let's just say, my situation was pretty horrible. Didn't have my own place where I could work and whatnot. But yeah, I'm becoming more active on Patreon, and I've added several benefits on several tiers, like the newsletter, the buy and sell signals, which I'm uploading, stock picks, and behind the scenes content, early access, many more benefits. And I'll be uploading that on a daily and weekly basis. So we recently uploaded the buy and sell signals, and we covered these stocks, basically all the stocks that are in this watch list. We're talking Tesla, NIO, C3.ai, Palantir, Snowflake, Facebook, Nano Dimension, Virgin Galactic, Netlist, Robinhood, Uber, Path. All of the stocks that I think are looking very good on the technicals and the fundamentals. And I basically have been trying to find a nice range where I could be buying the stock and a nice range to be selling the stock. And that's why I call it the buy and sell signals. And then on top of that, I'm going to be coming out with the stock picks, right? Which the recent one was Xpeng, I believe, at $31. And Xpeng is sitting much, much higher than that right now. In fact, XPeng was way higher than that $31 initially, which I think it hit like 48 at some point. But yeah, so the whole point is that I'm going to be way more active in everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Patreon, you name it. I've got plenty of time. I've got plenty of resources and everything. So it's going to be awesome. You're going to see a lot of content. Yeah, you can help me. If you want to help me, sure thing. You can give me feedback. You can, let me know what you like, what you dislike. There's a Discord community. There's an Instagram. You can send me messages there. So just let me know. All right. So the stocks that I really find attractive right now are Neo, C3.ai, Palantir, and Alibaba. These are my high conviction stocks. I think they're going to run so freaking fast. Like, there's no tomorrow. Like, I think we're going to see there's going to be so much upside. Especially C3 and Baba. These two. Everybody thinks they're trash. Everybody thinks C3 is going to go nowhere. Everybody thinks Baba's going to go nowhere. I think both of these very, very underrated. I've checked the fundamentals. They're checking out very good fundamentals. And even the technicals looking really amazing too. And we've been covering these for a while now. Every single, pretty much every single live stream, we've been covering C3 and Alibaba. Now, one of the main reasons why I am still bullish on C3 is because the CEO of the company came out and said, guys, we're going to grow faster. We're going to have a 40% growth rate starting next earnings. The past couple quarters, we had a 20% growth rate. There's a big difference there, right? And considering that the stock is sitting at all-time lows, just considering that, C3.ai, all-time lows. Given that the technicals, RSI's below the neutral, MACD's crossing, daily chart, MACD about to cross, volumes, I would say average. However, this stock, it goes up on big catalysts, and it goes up big. We've seen this here. There we go. 26% move before earnings. That was because of, I think there was a prize handed out to Thomas Siebel's company, right? C3.ai. And we had earnings, so we get a lot of momentum. And I believe that as the markets rebound, as the 10-year yield cools off, and people realize that that the fundamentals of this company are reversing, for the better, I think the stock is going to go up faster than what we've seen in this time period, because it's mostly based on the growth rate. Is the growth rate high? You'll see massive jumps. Is the growth rate low? It will slowly bleed down. And for the past couple quarters, despite C3 beating earnings, growth rate was low. It's a growth company. Growth companies need to grow. They're going to be growing faster starting next quarter. They're going to have a very nice growth rate for 2023, which is starting second half of next year, which is 2022. And so I think the growth is going to be coming back because the clients that C3 has, like a majority of them are from the energy sector. Guess what? The energy sector has been doing pretty darn good. But they were hit, right? So the energy sector did very bad in 2020. We all know that, right? So the energy sector was doing really, really bad in 2020. Guess who did really bad as well? C3.ai. Because they had to cut back on the contracts. They could not extend contracts. Well, yeah, C3.ai got very much influenced by that. And so, the CEO came back and said, hey, it looks like we're going to see more growth. And we're going to see faster growth than what we've been seeing. And I think it's because the energy sector is coming back. It's going to be on track. And because they're working on new products. They're working, they're spending a lot of money on marketing. So that's why I think C3.ai is going to be very attractive. And Alibaba, very big one, right? So I've been buying this stock since $170. I had an average of about 153. And looking at Alibaba, there we go. I don't have that much time left because I'm going to have to leave the office because it's going to close. Right, so, darn it. Okay, so Alibaba stock, it dropped all the way to 138. I was screaming out. I was like, guys, Alibaba is going to go up. There's no way around it. Beautiful fundamentals. There's a lot of China fear, but I don't think that fear is going to corrupt this company. I don't think the company is going to do bad. The company is still doing pretty darn good. They have a lot of cash flow. They have a lot of revenue, even after the punishments that, you know, the $15 billion that they have to donate, the $3 billion or $2.8 billion fine, and they're still running hot. And I think the stock has been punished so much the past couple years, or the past year. It's down more than 50%, right? I think it's at some point it was down like 56%. It's still down about 52% or something, and it's sitting at around $161.5 right now. I personally bought a boatload of Alibaba in this zone. Everybody called me crazy. Gara, you're crazy. Alibaba's going to go zero. It jumped all the way up to 162 because relations between China and US are slightly improving, and because Charlie Munger, one of the most famous investors on the planet, bought into Alibaba stock as it was going down in Q3. So hey, I might as well join. On this train with Charlie Munger. I think he knows something. So I think Alibaba is just going to be recovering back at least to the 180s. So I think there's another 10% coming up. I think for earnings we're going to be sitting between 180 and $200. I think we're going straight to the moon. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking for Alibaba. I think this is going to be rather easy to see it go up all the way there. However, keep in mind, Alibaba tends to pull back slightly after it jumps about 20%. This was around a 18% move. So it could pull back to 155, could pull back to 152. I will be buying the dip if that happens because I do think that the stock will keep continuing going up. Volumes are spiking. RSI is just getting to neutral. There's a lot of space left to the upside. MACD just recently crossed. It's still sitting very low. Weekly chart is about to cross, and we're below neutral on the weekly chart on the RSI. So it looks like the technicals are fine. We already know that the fundamentals are really good. So yeah, it's just going to be an easy 10 to 20% gain for the next 3 to 4 weeks. So both C3 and Baba, very nice. Palantir, I mean, I have no words for this. A lot of people have been selling Palantir because they're afraid that there's going to be dilution coming up or something. I'm not afraid. I've been buying a lot of Palantir 23, and I'm going to keep on buying. If it drops to 21, I'll be buying. Mainly because they've been getting very big contracts, the 800 million army contract, which obviously is going to be spread out on through the years, and it might be 600 million, it might be 700 million, which is still nice. But we recently had the $90 million VA contract, which is also pretty darn massive. And I made a video about that. Palantir videos on the channel if you haven't watched that yet, so make sure you watch that. All in all, I think there's been a lot of selling out of fear, and Palantir is still sitting at around the significant support level of around $23. So I just don't see this going down much further if the markets are going to remain stable. If the markets don't remain stable, it might drop to 21, it might drop to 20. I think it's still going to be a nice buying opportunity. So I'm not afraid. I think the stock is going to do really, really well because we've got earnings coming up in 1 month from now. And I think in a month from now, we're going to be sitting closer to $30 than $20. So that's the idea. All right, so I don't have time. I don't have a lot of time left because the office is closing in about 8 minutes. But I want to say one more thing. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. Once again, I wouldn't be able to be streaming in this office if it wasn't for your help. So, cheers. I love you guys. Thank you. if you'd like to support me even further, there is a Patreon. We have a Patreon link in the description, and I am planning to post a lot. Like, we're talking on a daily basis on the Patreon. We're talking about stock picks, buy and sell signals, and I'll be editing the buy and sell signals according to the movements that I'm seeing. So if I'm seeing a very nice buy, I'm going to be adding that to the buy and sell signal list on Patreon. We're also going to have the newsletter, which I'm going to be coming, I think starting Wednesday, I'll start releasing the newsletters where I'm going to be talking about the markets, what's happening with the interest rates, what's happening with the tech sector, growth stocks, etc., even crypto. So that will be part of that as well. Behind the scenes content, we're going to have early access. There's like a whole long list. There's going to be Discord group calls for the people that are, I think, paying above $10. We're going to do Discord group calls, and there's going to be discounts for the merch and for the courses. So there's a lot happening on the Patreon. Do make sure you check it out. There's something for everybody out there. So check out the Patreon. There's a Patreon link in the description. I'm going to be linking you the Patreon right now. See if I can do that. All right. Patreon link. I'm just going to copy that. If you want to join the Patreon, there is a link in the chat. And like I said, a lot of stuff coming on the Patreon. Not only on the Patreon, but also on the Twitter, on the TikTok, pretty much all social media that we are on. There's going to be a lot of content coming out, and I'm going to be way more active, like hell. Like, you've not seen this before. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited, but I have to go now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support once again. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great Sunday. Have a great one, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.